The year is 2021, and someone just invited you to Clubhouse.
Hey, Lois, I just got an invite.
You feel special, important, maybe even a little elite.
Your shots are so good.
I'd love to shoot you sometime.
This app wasn't for just anyone. It was invite only, iPhone only, and everyone from Elon Musk to Oprah was already on it. In the middle of a pandemic, when the world felt like it had been permanently muted, Clubhouse felt alive. Rooms full of strangers talking, debating, pitching ideas like it was the early days of the internet again. No filters, no likes, just voices. And for a moment, it felt like the next big thing.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
VCs were throwing money at it like it was the second coming of Twitter. Celebrities were hosting spontaneous Q&As. Tech founders were casually dropping wisdom while eating dinner. People were literally selling invites on eBay for $100. It was audio crack for the chronically online. A $4 billion valuation, millions of users, a Silicon Valley darling with vibes.
Damn!
And then, nothing.
Where is everything?
Like a balloon left out in the sun, Clubhouse didn't explode, it just withered.
I look so good, I lost all this weight.
One awkward UI update,
What's wrong? Seriously, you auto-updating now?
one Twitter space at a time.
You have got competition.
So, how do you go from cultural phenomenon to forgotten app in under 2 years? Let's
Rewind!
flashback to early 2020. A pair of former Google and Pinterest engineers, Paul Davidson and Rohan Seth, have a wild idea.
I have an idea.
What if social media wasn't about looking polished? What if it wasn't text, photos, or filters? What if it was just people talking? They built a rough prototype, one app, no DMs, no likes, no comments, just live ephemeral audio rooms. The vibe? A podcast crossed with a party line, but make it Silicon Valley. They quietly launched in March 2020, just as the world is locking down.
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Travel is cancelled, offices are shut, everyone's stuck at home craving connection. And then, timing hits different. By May, Andreessen Horowitz has already led a $10 million Series A. People call it the future of social media.
This is the future.
Early adopters feel like they're at the frontier of something huge. Conversations feel raw, intimate, real. It's not just the VCs. Black creatives host vibrant late-night shows, journalists hold newsroom briefings, strangers debate Bitcoin, trauma, cancel culture, sometimes in the same room. Twitter timelines are filled with just had the most fascinating convo on Clubhouse. Screenshots of Elon Musk dropping into random rooms go viral. Oprah reportedly listens in. Zuckerberg shows up. Every tech influencer has a bio that ends with so-and-so on Clubhouse. By February 2021, the app hits 10 million daily active users. It's the hottest ticket in tech, and you can't even get in without an invite.
An invitation? I love invitation.
This isn't just a product, it's a movement. But moments don't last forever, especially when the only thing holding them together is the moment itself. February 2021, Clubhouse raises another $100 million, led again by Andreessen Horowitz. The valuation, a staggering $4 billion. And just like that,
So the pressure is on.
this isn't a scrappy audio experiment anymore. This is the next unicorn, the next Twitter, the next Facebook. Investors want scale. The founders want legacy. Everyone wants the app to grow fast. So Clubhouse starts hiring, expanding, patching its bare-bones infrastructure into something that resembles a real platform. They built out the Android version, opened the doors wider, launch creator programs, bring in celebrities.
They love me.
But with each new update, something shifts. The once curated atmosphere of intimate rooms gives way to chaos.
That came out of you.
Yeah. You can't do that, huh?
No.
How on earth does that even...
Crypto bros flood the scene. Hustle culture dominates the hallways. Drama rooms, grift rooms, how to make six figures in your sleep rooms. Clubhouse tries to respond slowly.
Just
Fine.
as well as I can.
They experiment with tipping, creator payments, scheduled events, discovery tools. But the vibe is already changing. The exclusivity that made it feel cool,
Gone!
the rawness that made it authentic, diluted. The community that made it sticky, starting to drift. And then, like vultures circling a still-breathing body, Twitter Spaces arrives. And unlike Clubhouse, Twitter has scale, users, a timeline, real-time virality. Then comes Facebook, Spotify, even LinkedIn once in on the audio game. Everyone is copying Clubhouse, and somehow Clubhouse is the one being left behind. Because what they built first, they couldn't build best.
This is not going to work.
What?
By late 2021, the shine was gone.
I don't know what you want. I don't know how to help.
Clubhouse was no longer the darling of the App Store.
Cheryl, you know me?
No, I don't know you. I don't know you. I know the Derek that told me everything.
It was the app you used once and forgot to delete.
Oh no!
The numbers told the story. From 10 million daily users at peak down to under 1 million by November. Downloads dropped 72% in a single month. And inside the app, the cracks were everywhere. The quality of rooms tanked. What started as thoughtful conversations devolved into arguments, rants, and misinformation.
Rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're gonna have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking...
Moderation was almost non-existent. There were no real tools to stop harassment.
Oh, so you don't do anything unless it's original.
No way to report bad actors mid-conversation.
And I can't do that anymore.
Rooms became breeding grounds for conspiracy theorists and culture war skirmishes. And the experience? Buggy, inconsistent. Notifications spammed your phone. Search was terrible. The hallway, Clubhouse's main feed, became a confusing mess of half-baked suggestions. The development team, tiny for a platform this size, was clearly overwhelmed. Meanwhile, creators, the ones who'd made Clubhouse fun, felt abandoned. The creator program, full of broken promises. Applicants got ghosted. Those who made it in were given vague perks and little support. Many left for platforms with actual monetization. YouTube, Twitter, even TikTok. And then there was the culture. The same exclusivity that had made Clubhouse cool now made it cliquish, gatekeepy. New users joined and felt like outsiders. OGs complained about low-effort content. Everyone blamed everyone else for the decline. But the truth was simpler. Clubhouse had no plan for what to do after going viral. It grew faster than it could handle, and now it was drowning in its own hype.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
So Clubhouse did what every startup on life support does. It pivoted hard. First, they dropped the invite-only system. Then they launched Android, finally after a full year of exclusivity. Then came logos, rebrands, a new icon every month. It screamed, please still care.
Please! Please! No!
They introduced features like back channels, a DM system, pinned links, replays, scheduling tools, anything to make it feel like a real social platform. They rolled out spatial audio, yes, spatial audio, so it sounded like people were talking from different corners of the room, which, cool, but not the problem. In 2022, they tried again. New homepage, topic-based feeds, more creator outreach. They even dabbled in monetization, tips, ticketed events, payments. But it was all too late. The creators had moved on, the energy had moved on, and most of all, the audience had moved on. Because Clubhouse still didn't solve its core problem.
What happened?
Why stay on a live-only platform in a world that moved on demand? People wanted convenience, not chaos, not commitment. A live audio app that expected users to be available at all times in 2022?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That was starting to feel like homework. And while Clubhouse scrambled to reinvent itself, its clones were thriving. Twitter Spaces was native to a timeline people already scrolled. Spotify Live had music integration. Even Discord voice channels were more reliable. Clubhouse had no moat, no anchor, just a once brilliant idea that had lost its timing. The breaking point didn't come all at once. There was no headline that said, Clubhouse is dead. Just a long, slow slide into irrelevance. By early 2023, even the founders had gone quiet. No major updates, no high-profile interviews. The once hyped creator economy, forgotten. The app still existed, technically, but it had become the digital version of a mall food court at closing time. A few voices echoing in empty rooms. The occasional crypto panel. A ghost of what it once was. Clubhouse's valuation, once $4 billion, was now a trivia fact. The downloads flatlined. The media coverage stopped. Even the diehards, those who had hosted weekly rooms, built audiences, poured hours into discussions, moved on. Because Clubhouse never became a habit. It never figured out retention. And worst of all, it never understood that hype isn't the same as community.
I love this game. I live this game. And there's 1,000 other guys waiting in the wings who are obsessed with this game.
Clubhouse was designed for a pandemic world. A world where we had time, where live conversations filled the void, where people craved connection. But when the world reopened, Clubhouse had nothing left to say.
Why, God, why?
And while the app faded, the industry moved on without it. Social audio didn't die, it just got absorbed into Twitter Spaces, into Discord, into Zoom. In Clubhouse, it became the punchline, the cautionary tale, the footnote. Even as the user base collapsed, Clubhouse never admitted defeat. They kept tweeting updates, kept releasing patch notes, kept talking like the lights were still on and the party was still raging, while the guests were long gone.
The party is over.
And in mid-2023, the app quietly shifted its branding. No more Silicon Valley bravado, no more changing the way we connect. Now it was about the intimate conversations with people who matter, which is a poetic way to say there's like 12 people left here. No exit strategy.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
No pivot to B2B. No licensing play.
It's official. I am now licensed!
No press tour explaining the vision.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Just an app quietly reduced to a hobby project with ghost infrastructure. Founders Paul and Rohan, once hailed as the next Jack in Biz, stepped into the background. Over 50% of staff laid off in April 2023.
You're fired!
Huh?
The Android rollout stalled. No one really noticed. Tech journalists stopped covering it, influencers stopped name-dropping it, and yet the app still exists. You can download it, you can log in, you can start a room. but there's a reason you haven't, because Clubhouse didn't die from one mistake. It died from pretending nothing was wrong. From treating momentum like product market fit. From acting like buzz would last forever. It logged in like nothing happened, and everyone else logged off.
I don't understand. Why is everyone leaving?
Clubhouse was never supposed to be permanent. It was lightning in a bottle, a voice in a vacuum, a beautifully timed glitch in the system. But for a few fleeting moments, it gave us something rare. Conversations that weren't optimized. No retweets, no thumbnails, no performative likes. Just voices, raw, unfiltered, immediate.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
It felt like a campfire in the middle of the internet. Chaotic, warm, unpredictable, and yeah, sometimes toxic, but also kind of magical.
Want to see a magic trick? Good. Abracadabra!
We didn't lose Clubhouse because of one bad product decision. We lost it because it was built for a moment, and that moment passed. Instead of evolving, it doubled down on a version of itself that couldn't survive outside the lockdown bubble. What's left now is a cautionary tale about how even the loudest platforms can go silent, how even the most hyped ideas can vanish overnight, how sometimes the revolution really is just a vibe. There's still people building in audio, still founders chasing that spark. Still apps trying to capture the intimacy that Clubhouse promised. But the truth? You can't manufacture a moment. And Clubhouse was a moment. It burned bright. It changed things. And then it faded into nothing overnight.
I don't feel so good.